God morning, you guys. It is July 15th. We have Jesus calling. Do not worry about tomorrow. That runs through the song. Don't worry about tomorrow. He's got it under control. This should be a music channel. That was beautiful. That was elite. This is not a suggestion, but a command. Do not worry about tomorrow, guys. Worrying about tomorrow, right? That makes it a dynamic where you don't trust in God, right? Where you do have anxiety, where you have all these problems, right? Where you're not functioning in the role you should be functioning as. You should put your trust in God. You should put your trust in Jesus and expect nothing but the best back. And if you worry about tomorrow, you're actively saying, God, I don't fully trust you. God, I don't know where you're going to bring me. God, I don't know how I'm going to do this. God, I don't know how I'm going to do that. And I don't trust you to do it. I'm going to take it into my own hands. I'm going to take it into my own power, right? Actively worrying is saying that the person that should be protecting you, the person that should be helping you, should be holding you up, cannot do it, that they're not up to the task. And we could never say that about our God. Do not worry about tomorrow. This is not a suggestion, but a command. I divide time into days and nights so that you would have manageable portions of life to handle. I got to slow down, guys. I'm excited. I divide time into days and nights so that you would have manageable portions of life to handle. My grace is sufficient for you, but its sufficiency is for only one day at a time. God has literally created the exact system we have for a purpose, for a reason, guys. He knows that we can only function for so much amount of time. He knows that we can only truly stay on a topic, truly ponder one thing for a certain amount of time. And he's equated how much we need to what we need, right? To what we need to develop, to what we need to process, to what we need to learn. And he knows that. My grace is sufficient for you, but its sufficiency is for only one day at a time, right? We have to reset. Sorry, I just bumped it. Sorry, we have to reset, right? We can't just keep going. That's why literally the God of the universe, the creator, made it a point to tell us that in the same amount of time he took to create the universe, he took to create every animal, he took to create the moon and the stars, he took to create the oceans, the mountains, he took to resting, right? He took the same amount of time to make all the oceans, all the lands, the entire earth, to resting. And I feel like people like to skip over that. People don't really realize what that means and how important that truly is, that resting is important, because through rest, we can find comfort, and we should be finding comfort in Jesus. My grace is sufficient for you, but its sufficiency is for only one day at a time. When you worry about the future, you heap day upon day of troubles onto your flimsy frame, right? So guys, when we do have anxiety, when we are worrying, right, this goes back to what we were originally talking about. When we are worrying about the future, then we're taking days that haven't even come yet and bringing that onto our day now, bringing that heavy workload onto our day now, right? So we're trying to get multiple 2, 3, 4 days worth of life out in one sitting. And then if you do that, you're going to do everything wrong, right? You're not only going to do that day wrong, but you're going to do the next day wrong, and then that next day, and then the other day you're worrying about, then next month's rent, and then a couple years from now when your kid goes off to college, or when you are going off to college and you have to pay for it, right? You're putting all these days on yourself, and then it's too much to process, it's too much to handle, and we fall away from God. We start focusing, we start using our mind on other things that we think are more important than God when they're not. You stagger under this heavy load, which I never intended you to carry. He literally created us, guys. He knows how we're supposed to function. This is not it. Throw off the oppressive burden with one quick thrust of trust. Anxious thoughts meander about and crisscrossing your brain, but trusting me brings you directly into my presence. As you thus affirm your faith, shackles of worry fall off instantly. Enjoy my presence continuously by trusting me at all times. I'm going to read that because I feel like that doesn't need to be broken down. It's so obvious, but I'm just going to reread it. Throw off this oppressive burden, the anxiety, right? The worry. With one quick thrust of trust, anxious thoughts meander about and crisscross in your brain, but trusting me brings you directly into my presence. As you thus affirm your faith, shackles of worry fall off instantly. Enjoy my presence continuously by trusting me at all times. Let's see where this comes from. Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Then we have 2 Corinthians 12:9. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me. And we have Psalm 62:8. Trust in him at all times. You people, pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. Guys, that is July 15th. I truly learned today. My takeaway is that we cannot worry about the future. That's what anxiety is. So many people suffer from anxiety because they try to do everything themselves. You're not meant to. He literally created us. The reason that when we read this, you hear it and you go, oh my gosh, that is how I think. I do have all these thoughts running across my brain all the time. How does he know that? It's because he created us. And since he created us, he knows the best course of action for us to take, right? That's why he created the Bible. That's why he sent his son Jesus down to give us a perfect example of how to live, guys, because he knows how we think, he knows how we act, he knows how we respond, and he knows what we should do next. And it is not worrying, it is not ceaseless anxiety, it is not being, it isn't getting caught up in the day-to-day. It's getting caught up on him and developing that relationship. That's July 15th. I hope you guys learned something. I love you guys so much, and with that, I'll say amen.